Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And can you believe we're already almost halfway through October? My goodness, the month is going very quickly. I hope it's a powerful one for you so far. And we have been focused on unmasking our potential. That's the focus of the month of October. And how do we fully tap into who we are, what we're called to be, what we're called to become, and really release those things that can hold us back, or we can be carrying with us, or not even be aware are perhaps holding us back. So how do we strip all of that away to really step forward powerfully, joyfully, purposely into our potential, and then share that with the world? That's our focus this month. So I'm excited to have all of you joining us. We have two amazing guests today that I know you're going to love getting to know, lean into, and be encouraged by, supported by, to have an opportunity to be poured into by them. So here's the tip to get the most out of today's show. Choose to be fully present. That means taking a breath, becoming centered, mindfully, purposely choosing to be here. Not multitasking, but fully present, mind, body, soul, and spirit. This is an opportunity for you to be poured into and receive. You get to be filled up and supported on your journey. Really tapping into who you are, getting to slow down a little bit and be supported, encouraged, and empowered. So to support you in this, let's take a deep breath in through your nose, or our respective noses, and out through the mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. Let's put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in as you continue to breathe. Bringing in heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, that we are all connected, we're all present, and ready to listen and receive. Opening our ears to hear, our hearts to receive, our minds to be expanded. And in this space where you are breathing and being, what is it that you need today that will encourage you and support you on your journey? What do you need today that you are willing to receive? Because you have choice. So what is it you need today, real time, to help you unmask your potential, really tap into that and be able to bring it forward? What do you need? Receive that information, that insight. Beautiful. Let's take a breath. Come back into the room, fully present, ready to receive. And take a moment and write down what it is that was placed on your heart. And I encourage you to write it down physically. There's a connection when you write something between your hand and your heart. A channel opens up, insights come through, and you're helping make it real, not just swirling around in you that someday that will come forward. But today you're bringing it forward. You're claiming what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Beautiful. That way, throughout the time together today, I encourage you to glance at that paper, really be present and open, and looking forward to the exciting and unexpected way this need can be met and move forward. Actually, you're looking forward to being surprised in the wonderful way this moves forward for you that you never saw coming. You didn't have to figure it all out. You just get to be ready to receive and open to it. With that, we're going to circle around our virtual room here and connect in with our two guests and have them share when they took a moment to stop, pause, slow down, and listen. what was laid on their heart. I know for myself, I could feel my lungs expanding and kind of a little bit of stretching there. So I thought, wow, I need to remember to take those deep breaths and allow that support in of being still and receiving. That's what I was reminded of when we took a moment to slow down and listen. And Dr. RJ, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart.
Just being more present, kind of like what you kind of talked about. You know, I'm a future thinker, and I'm in the future a lot, so it's always a good reminder to be present in the moment.
I love that, and it's true. We can get so focused on what's being built and where things are going that we can forget to be present in the now. So I love that. Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing. How about you, Charlotte? What was laid on your heart?
So for me, I usually get an image, and for me, the image was really about being enveloped. And I think what that was saying was that I need to, draw in support from others. Being enveloped by others is kind of the image that I got.
Oh, I love that. And that's such a beautiful word. It has like a nice feel of being enveloped, supported, surrounded, held, wrapped up in others, allowing that support in. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, how about you? When you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen, what was laid on your heart? Is it that reminder to be present and be in the now? Because sometimes we can be looking back or forward and forget to also choose to be in the now. Or maybe it's allowing that support in and feeling it and bringing that into your life. Or perhaps there's some other reminder or insight that you were given. As we go to our first commercial break, I encourage you to stay present as the commercials play in the background with insights and updates that we want you to know. Choose to be present and continue to listen and receive what is being laid on your heart and your spirit. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that opportunity to breathe and be. And I hope that you got some great insights or reminders while you were able to slow down a little bit and receive. We're excited to continue our conversation today as we explore unmasking your potential. And I'm really honored to introduce our first guest here. I know you're going to love him. And he has some exciting news too. So today is a special day that he'll be sharing about as well. So be leaning into that exciting announcement that you're going to hear live firsthand before it's actually been shared out publicly. This is where he's going to be sharing it. So I'm excited not only to introduce him but to also be part of getting to share out his exciting news. So Dr. R.J. Jackson is an orthodontist and nationally known certified teen life coach. He's a #1 international best-selling author. He has helped thousands of teenagers through orthodontics, mentoring, community leadership, and as a teen life coach. Dr. RJ, as he goes by, is sometimes called the Teen Whisperer because of his special connection and relationship and way that he's able to support teens so powerfully. He is passionate about helping every teenager in the world feel happy and successful. Can we please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic and teen-centric Dr. R.J. Jackson to the show. Welcome.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You are welcome. I'm thrilled to have you here today. And I'd love to start our conversation with why? Why orthodontics and teen life coach and helping teens in so many of the different ways that you do and the resources you've created for them. Why is this work with teens just so important to you?
Yeah, it's a great question. My desire as an orthodontist initially was to help teenagers to be happy, confident, and I just figured, creating a smile should be the antidote in a sense. And early on in my career, I found out that was not the case. I had a patient where we had to remove her braces because she had a body image issue she was suffering from. And after working with a few therapists, there was no help at all for her. It just wasn't working. The parent, they came to me, asked me to mentor their child, and I was a little stunned because that's not something I ever worked with. But early on in our conversations, I knew she needed a life coach. And I had the opportunity to work with the mom as far as searching around. There was no life coaches. So then I felt like I was called to do that.
And you leaned in. And I know with that particular individual, do you mind sharing what happened in your work with her?
Absolutely. So as soon as we realized there were no life coaches for teenagers at that time, I went through my own certification, I became a life coach, and in 1 month, she was completely transformed. And that was my kind of, notice that, yep, this is the right path. So she's happy now. We've already completed her braces and all that, and so she's still a happy teen.
Oh, I love that. And that's something she gets to take with her for life, in those formative years to be able to feel confident and comfortable in your skin and celebrate that. What a gift, and to be able to bring that forward. So I just celebrate you're honoring that call, leaning in and being willing to share and help so many teens and their families in such a powerful way. And that leads us to the exciting announcement I want to make sure we include and share. So do you mind sharing what you launched this morning?
Yes, so I launched my second book, Parenting Happy Teens. It's an inside job, so we launched it today. And so far, we've experienced so much success, so much love and support. So it's been a very exciting day.
Oh, I love that. So it was just launched this morning. And this book is, do you mind sharing who it's targeted to support? So Parenting Happy Teens.
Yeah, it's actually for the parents, believe it or not. Yes, for the parents. I'm a teen life coach, but there's a perspective, I believe, that just hasn't been shared with parents as far as from the teen's perspective. So this is really kind of focused on giving parents insight on how the teenage mind works and how they think and feel.
Beautiful. And then kind of what to do with that to support them. so powerfully. I'm personally very excited about your book. I've had a chance to read the advanced copy, and we're excited to be supporting and sharing it and bringing it forward. And just before we all got on to start the show, we shared the exciting news that Dr. RJ's book, Parenting Happy Teens, It's an Inside Job, has already hit #1 best-selling status in the teen parenting category. So we're just so excited. Congratulations and the hot new releases, Parenting Teens. Absolutely, just beautiful success. So congratulations, and I know more to come because every time we plug in, we can see more activity. And for me, that reaffirms how needed your work is and the information that you've brought forward in this book to really make a difference for families and their teens. So thank you for bringing it forward. Excited to share the #1 bestseller announcement with you today. And do you mind sharing a little bit about where people can get the book? And I know there's a special launching rate, all of those details with our listeners.
Sure. Yeah, it's available on Amazon, and we are, offering a special rate of $1.99 today. So if you're listening and you would love to find out ways to, on your part, how you can help your teen grow in confidence and happiness, then I think this is the perfect book for that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. So they can go on Amazon and look it up either by your name, Dr. R.J. Jackson, or under Parenting Happy Teens. It's an Inside Job, and find that book. So thank you for making it available. We're excited also that you're taking time out on a launch day. I know that's a busy day to talk with us and share out. And from that perspective, choosing to be present and celebrating this powerful success for you, when you were led to bring this book forward, what were you hoping it would do and help in the world? And as you're seeing it already be so powerfully received, what does that mean to you? Or does it, I'd love to know your thoughts and reflections on that.
No, Rebecca, that's a great question. It's my heart has always been for the teenagers, and early on in my career as a teen life coach, I realized that I have to get the parents involved. I'll work with teenagers, and we're getting great transformations, but then there was always like, oh, my mom or my dad. And I realized in relationships that one person can actually influence a relationship, and that's what we did with the teenagers. But it actually takes two people to grow that relationship. So I really felt it was my mission to, as I'm growing these teenagers, to also work with parents so that we can grow the relationship as well.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And how does it feel to be a #1 best-selling author with this book, that it's already been received that way so powerfully? Any thoughts or reflections on that as we're taking it in with you?
Yeah, it feels great, mainly because of the impact. I think that's really what I believe is if I am given a gift, I should share it freely. And I'm just excited that, I've been called to this position and that I'm able to impact the lives of others.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I appreciate your saying yes to the calling and being willing to step forward. And in your expertise as a teen life coach, an international best-selling author, a teen whisperer, an expert in this space, is there a tip that you can share today to help listeners? Perhaps they have a teenager in their family, or they are a teenager, or they are connected with someone that has teenagers. A tip that you would share to help us unmask our potential?
Yeah, thanks for giving me the opportunity. And I have so many, but I know we have limited time. So I will share one that I think is often overlooked as it relates to helping a teenager become confident, is really putting the emphasis and the reward on the action that they took as opposed to the outcome. So they're studying for a test, and you watch them study for the test, and they didn't do so well on the test. still is a celebration. Even though they did not get an A, let's still celebrate because they gave it their all. They studied, they worked hard. And I think that's what really builds up a team.
I love that. And then really supporting them and celebrating the actions that they're taking, not just focused on the results. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And then as you reflect back on our conversation today, I know you have so much that you can share. I know you have quite an extensive TikTok following as well in the teenage space that is just continuing to grow and expand and have great influence. Anything else that as we have this moment in time together, we're looking at leaning in and supporting teens that you would love to bring to the conversation?
Yeah, what I've learned from the TikTok channel in particular, we have a big following on TikTok of teenagers, and they really share their experiences with their parents. I think parents understanding that they have the ability to impact the child, and that the child is just not a normal, oftentimes we see teenagers do certain things, and the parent can easily feel like that it's just a teenager being a bratty teenager. But understanding that a parent can help a teenager in any direction, that they have that power, and this is my job with this book, to really show them the power that they have to help their teenagers.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And what an important reminder, because I think sometimes teenagers can bring, or it can be challenging in a family, the dynamics and all that they're growing and learning. And sometimes parents can feel powerless or not sure what to do, or know that they can make an impact and support their teen in a powerful way. And so I love that reminder, and that you've created a book to support them, to help them do that, understanding the teenage mind a little bit more, and how they can really come alongside and support their teens in such powerful ways that can really impact the lifetime and the trajectory of that teen, and they can be a part of that in a positive way. I love that. Thank you, Dr. RJ, for joining us today, for sharing your powerful insights with us and exciting news. We're excited about your book and seeing all of the countries and categories it may reach as it continues to ripple out into the world. And we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world. Hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that opportunity to breathe and be still and process all that has been shared with you. We will have those moments and breaks throughout the show designed on purpose to support you. So I encourage you, when we have those moments, to stay present. Really use it as an opportunity to breathe and take in what's being shared and breathe out what no longer serves. So you're giving yourself a moment to pause and integrate. So welcome back. We're excited to continue our conversation on how can we more fully unmask our potential. And we were talking in the previous segment with Dr. R.J. Jackson and really specializing in empowering teens and their families, and some great tips and insights. And now we're going to shift gears a little bit and move into looking at unmasking our potential in some additional ways, and how we're living our life and the choices that we're making, and really stepping into our leadership, because we are all leaders, whether we realize it or not. How do we more fully do that and step into our potential? I'm excited to introduce our next amazing guest, Charlotte Allen. She is a nationally renowned keynote speaker, international best-selling author, has a PhD and 20 years of experience in leadership. She is a creator of the Rebel Success for Leaders. She works with STEM organizations and individuals in the STEM field. She helps leaders embrace their unique voice, perspectives, and work collaboratively to bring things powerfully forward. She is passionate about breaking down barriers and driving people to new levels of meaningful change, really bringing that powerfully forward. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic and rebel leader, Charlotte Allen, to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm really excited to be here today.
Thrilled to have you joining us today. Excited to talk and go a little bit deeper. You have been on our show before, so welcome back. We're excited to have you joining us again.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And you always have such beautiful and supportive insights in how we're looking at leadership and how we're looking at ourselves and bringing things forward. So I'd love for you to take a moment and share why this work in rebel leadership, why is that personally so important to you? And what does it mean when you talk about a rebel leader? Yeah.
Yep, that's a good place to start. What does it mean? So when I talk about rebel, what I'm talking about is those unique things about us that we can be the only ones to bring, right? Mm-hmm. And oftentimes those have a connotation that comes with them. And instead of sort of sitting on that connotation, which could be, leather jackets, motorcycles, temper tantrum kind of things, honestly, what we bring that's unique is the thing we need to deliver to both our life and to our career and to our passions and to our work. So it's really about how do I help folks and teams leverage that rebelness and then teach them how to make it successful, because really people view that in opposition. Being a rebel and being success don't always go together. But I think it's a really powerful combination.
I love that. And when they're able to be brought together, it's bringing such unique talent to the world and to the team that can make such an incredible difference. So I love that. So how does rebel success for leadership really, when we're tying those pieces together, how does that help people overcome barriers and create powerful change? How does that work?
So I think we've all probably heard about this need for diversity, right? We need to have a diverse bit of thought. We need to have diverse ideas to bring forth innovation in business. We need to make sure that we have a diverse group of people that we surround ourselves with. And there's a lot of training on, diversity that you can access out there. I think there's a next step that could be really helpful in showing folks, okay, I have all this diversity, but oftentimes that diversity gets a bit squashed somewhere down the road because we don't understand how to move it down the path. We don't understand all of these varying opinions and how to actually bring that to success. Because when we get to the success part, we think we all have to align, and we think we all have to march by the same drummer, and we think we all have to do, the same stuff, and which is completely opposite of this diversity that we have brought forth in our organization. So for me, and when I work with organizations, it is really about how do you not squash out this wonderful diversity you've hired for, this wonderful diversity you've generated, just because you want this alignment when you get closer to success. I think that's the missing piece.
Thank you for sharing that. That makes so much sense. And I love that you're bringing forward that there is this next step. And how do we honor that diversity that was designed and built in the companies trying to bring forward? How do we continue to move it forward in such a powerful way that honors it and all that diversity and different perspectives and rebelness, those unique skills and perspectives can bring to the table and to the team and to the organization? I love that. And I'm also thinking, this also means that we may have to look at things a little bit differently or approach things differently. And sometimes we're not always comfortable with that, or it can bring fear, especially sometimes things that we're not familiar with, or maybe a really different way of thinking or perspective can make us uncomfortable or feel even fearful sometimes. What are ways to, is that true? Do you find that's the case? And if fear is something that comes up, how do we navigate through that?
That's a great question, Rebecca. Fear is powerful. Fear is very, very powerful. And I think as people and as organizations, we see that show up in so many different ways. Sometimes it's hard to recognize. So some of it is we just have to understand that it's always there, and we have to question or reflect on the experience that we're having and ask ourselves, am I fearful, or are we fearful about this? Are we uncomfortable about this? Is the change making us uncertain? We've all had a lot of change in the last 18 months, right? Some people more than others, some organizations and some industries more than others. But literally, how do we move forward with that, right? Because we are not expected to sit, right? We are expected to move through that. And some of what I talk to organizations about is around their relationships amongst themselves. How do they feel about the people they're actually making changes for? How do we understand who that's for? Because I think sometimes we get a little stuck in our presentations and our spreadsheets and our financial reporting, and we completely lose sight of the people that our product or service is designed for. So I think some of it is once you connect to the people, it becomes a little less fearful because that empathy quotient kicks in. And then it's not about you anymore. It's kind of about the empathy you have for the person you are serving.
Beautiful. And that, I would think, would unite a team or different perspectives because, in a sense, the goal is the same, to support who you're trying to support. Do you find that's the case and kind of helps through some of those things?
It definitely overcomes what tends to dissolve into competition versus rise into collaboration. So, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And then I know something that you talk about in your book, it's bricks, and that we can start to be hauling a bunch of bricks around. Do you mind sharing what are these bricks that we might be carrying around, and what do we do about them?
Right. So I think as we are stepping into our potential, oftentimes we still carry stuff. So we convince ourselves we have to have, this. We have to have a certain way of doing work. We have to have, a certain way of scheduling our day. We have to have, any number of things. And all of these things that we've convinced ourselves we must do, each one of those things is a brick. And we carry that brick with us in our backpack or in our purse or in our bag or in our whatever. And these bricks hold us back because we all know we can't get to where we want to go with any speed carrying a pile of bricks. So I often challenge people, why, I ask the question, help me understand why that's important. Help me understand why we need to do it that way. Why can't we think about another option? Lay it down. Let it go. If it's not serving you, you don't need it. Maybe somebody else likes it better than you. Have them pick it up, right? So I think it's about not bringing the bricks if we don't need them.
Beautiful. Really evaluating, because there's weight to each of those, and it takes up space. So making sure they're really needed for the journey. Beautiful. And speaking of your book, I'd love for you to share the title of your #1 international best-selling book that was released. Was it earlier this year? It was last year. The time goes so quickly. Do you mind sharing the full title, a little bit about the book? Because I know you have an exciting announcement that you're going to make with your book.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, it was released last September. The past year has flown by. The book title is Rebel Success for Leaders, Lead, Grow, and Sell Fearlessly. And it is a compilation of both my stories, because I believe that people really resonate with stories as you share them, as well as some of my best strategies and suggestions for how to get a hold of this uniqueness that we all have and how to combine that with success. So since we launched last year, what is new for today's announcement is that the Audible version, so Audible, iTunes, and Amazon now have the Read For You available. So I'm happy to offer that first to your listeners, and I'm excited about that new reach that we'll have.
Well, congratulations. I'm so excited for your beautiful book being brought forward now in an Audible format as well. And listeners behind the scenes, Charlotte said, well, I haven't publicly announced this yet. I'm getting ready to next week, but is it okay if I share it with your listeners? And I said yes. So I'm excited to share this powerful news about her beautiful book being available in Audible now. So for those of you who love the Audible format, it is now available, and you heard it here first, so that you can lean in and get your amazing copy of this powerful book. And congratulations. I know every time you bring a new format forward, it's a process. So congratulations on having this available. Absolutely. That's very exciting. And we celebrate it with you. And also, I'd love to tap into your expertise around helping leaders, and especially those rebel leaders, those people with amazing skills and talents that are unique to them, and really bringing those forward. So do you have an additional tip, suggestion, or idea that can help them maybe further unmask some of their amazing talent to bring it forward?
I would say that the biggest challenge after you speak your uniqueness, right? So the first part is speaking your uniqueness, and we talked a bit about that. It's really getting support for your uniqueness. I mean, I spent a lot of years getting support for ideas that didn't exist, asking for money for things that hadn't yet been developed. So it's really, how do you speak that to the world and get the support so that you can influence your future? So that is kind of the next big undertaking, and that is something that if you're speaking it and you're not getting anywhere, that's the next thing. It's about, how do you use your network? How do you speak what you want, it's that next level.
I love that. So speak it into existence, help co-create, bringing it forward. I love that. Beautiful.
And I didn't do that. I will say personally, I didn't do that before. But I've tested it. I'm an experimenter. I've tested it. It does work. So I would suggest that we all speak it into the world.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Speak it into the world and then step behind and be willing to follow. Bring it forward.
Yes.
Co-create it. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And thank you for announcing your special news on our show today. I love being able to bring breaking news to our amazing listeners. So thank you as well for entrusting us with that, letting us celebrate that exciting news with you.
Absolutely.
And listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, I want to encourage you to think about what Charlotte has shared with us and really take in those insights and information that can help you move forward in powerful ways. And when you come back, we're going to share contact information, some reminders of where you can access these beautiful resources we've been talking about, as well as some additional tips to support you on your journey. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that moment to pause and breathe and receive everything that serves. And we have enjoyed having you join us. And I have asked each of our experts behind the scenes if they would share their contact information, because I want you to be able to have the same level of access to them that I do, that you're able to connect and go deeper and learn from them and build a relationship with them. So we're going to make sure to share their contact information, any final tips, and then reminders of where you can find the powerful tools that they've been talking about today. And I think from my perspective, as I'm reflecting back on our conversation from start to finish today, I think a key to unmasking your potential is remembering that you have unique gifts and talents and abilities that are yours. Nobody else is made just like you. and that it's not a solo journey, that you can be supported and have people walk beside you on your journey, and you can go further, I believe, that way, in a supported way, when you let others come alongside you. So kind of my tip that I would like to encourage all of you to lean into is really looking at how can you maybe strip away a little bit of the mask or some of those things, barriers almost, that we put up to present ourselves a certain way, and be courageous, be willing to share a little bit more of your uniqueness, of who you are powerfully made to be, and recognize that's an asset. Those are things that are needed in the world. So be willing to share them, shine that out. It makes a positive difference, heart by heart, life by life. And we can empower and encourage others to shine their light too, to bring their unique gifts to the world. And we are all powerfully served by that. It helps make the world a better place, heart by heart, life by life. With that, I would love to go around our virtual room and have each of our guests do a final share. So Dr. RJ, I'd love for you to share how people can connect with you further. What are some of the best ways to follow you? And then any final tip that you want to share with us as we continue to unmask our potential would be wonderful. I'd love it.
Yeah, I would like to remind everyone that today is the day. If you want to grab the book at a price of $1.99, we'll be running this special until tomorrow morning, so make sure you grab the book. I also would like to encourage the parents to join my Facebook group. We have a lot of parents from all over the country where we are sharing together. We're learning together. The Facebook group, you can find us by typing in Teen Motivation and Confidence. The official link is Facebook.com/groups/Teen Motivation and Confidence. And as far as social media, I'm actually an influencer on TikTok. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at the Dr. RJ, THEDRRJ. And my final tip I want to share with parents is just understanding that your teen, or at least knowing or becoming aware that your teen actually wants to please you. They want you to be happy. They want you to be proud of them. So I think that's just some great awareness to know.
Beautiful. Thank you for knowing that and sharing that with us and giving us so many different ways we can connect in with you. I want to remind everyone of that special $1.99 rate that will be available through tomorrow morning, so through Friday morning. So today is the day to take action on that. And it's wonderful if you're willing to share it out for people who have teens and are looking for tools and resources to support them in supporting their teen. Here's a great opportunity for that. So thank you, Dr. RJ, for joining us. So we're excited to be part of your launch day and launch, and look forward to seeing all of the hearts and lives and places that your wonderful book will reach. And Charlotte, I would love for you to share your contact information, ways we can go deeper and connect, as well as any final tip that is on your heart to share so we can further unmask our potential.
Absolutely. So the two places you can probably connect with me are at my website, which is Rebel Success for Leaders with an S.com. There is a newsletter you can sign up for, a few free downloads, some blogs you can catch up on. That's a good place to capture some information. The second is I'm most active on LinkedIn, given my community is the STEM industry. So if you look me up on LinkedIn, it is Charlotte Allen Food Innovator is the handle, if you will. And I'd love to connect with you guys there. And if you happen to do that, please note in the message that you heard me on Rebecca's show. I love to know where people plug in. You can find my book again on Amazon, and it is available in digital format, paper, hardback, and now the Audible format. So I'm very excited about that.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. I was trying to do a sound effect for emphasis. The Audible format is now available. So I'm excited for you, and congratulations on bringing that forward. Thank you for joining us today, Charlotte, and sharing and making so many tools and resources available on your site, as well as I know you're very interactive for those who connect in on LinkedIn as well. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. And I was just reflecting back on our conversation, and listeners, I hope you have taken some time to write down a couple of notes to support you on your journey, and that at the end of the show today, you take a couple minutes to process what has been shared, write down some of these tips and insights and tools, and maybe lean in and connect further with Charlotte, connect in further with Dr. RJ, and allow those relationships and connections to build. Tap into those resources that support you. And one of the things that I think can really cheer us on in stepping further into our potential is reaching out to others. I was thinking about how Charlotte was defining Rebel as some of those unique things about us that are a little bit different, either perspective or gifts or ways that we show up in the world, gifting that we have. And sometimes I think we don't see those gifts. We don't see how we shine. We don't see how we're different or special in different ways because we're just in our experience. We're inside the picture frame. And what a gift it would be if we took a moment to reach out to those in our life and just share something we think is amazing about somebody. A way they've impacted you, a way they've touched you, a way they have uniquely shown up in the way they are made and made a positive difference for you. I think that can encourage us on our journey. Thinking about how Dr. RJ was encouraging parents and reminding them of the impact they do have and can have, and that their teens really do want to be happy and successful and want that support, that we can give that to each other. We can reach out to each other, build each other up on our journey so we can continue to shine our gifts and our talents out in the world. Sometimes we forget that we're making an impact or a difference, or we can't see that. And what a beautiful gift to be that mirror, to reflect that, point that out to somebody in your life. So I want to give that as an extra credit bonus, unmasking your potential challenge today, that you reach out and you let somebody know how they have impacted you in a positive way, some way they have touched your life that has made a difference. Let them know that. Reach out proactively. Have an amazing week. Remember to find ways to bring the gift of you forward. Bloom where you're planted. Shine that gift of you out in the world. Share you out in the world. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.